Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, my channel where I review my favorite retro video games of all time, as well as some modern releases I have recently finished. Today I want to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I did a video on this a long time ago talking about how frustrating and fun it was at the exact same time. Modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very mixed bag. It's hard to get into, especially if you haven't been there for a very long time or if you're brand new to the scene. It is a very unforgiving landscape full of people spending a lot of money to build these crazy decks that can stop anything you throw at them, essentially. So I wanted to give a quick little video here on my experience with Master Duel and how I figured out the ways to get around the super powerful decks and build a competent deck of your own without spending any money, because this is very much a heart of the credit cards type game in a lot of ways, which makes sense. It is a competitive card game where you're spending money to draw cards. It makes sense that the most powerful cards are going to be the most hard to find or the most expensive to make. So I want to go over my strategies with the stuff that I found that works and the ways to, again, not spend any money. Because I'm one that I don't like to spend microtransactions and stuff, especially in a virtual card game. I'm going to buy actual cards if I want to play with them. But this is how I play the game. And I have found moderate success. For a while I was getting some moderate success. Now I'm getting pretty decent success over time. So let's get that out of the way and talk about what you can do. So first and foremost, if there's any bonuses, I believe I got a bunch of bonuses when I first signed up for Master Duel, a bunch of gems and stuff. I think that's standard across the board, but they might be doing some event stuff, especially at New Year's. So check that before you download the game, or find a Yu-Gi-Oh! Content creator online if they've got a special code or something. Whatever you need to do, get as many gems as you can as possible, because gems are your typical standard currency across the board. You have other things like dust, your normal, your rare, your secret rare, super rare, I can't remember the terminology, and your ultra rare dust that you can use to craft certain cards of different rarities. So the ultra rares are the most rare, and then the normals, of course, are the commons, are the most easy to get. You'll be using that dust to craft certain cards, but your main currency is gems. You can use this to buy packs, buy structure decks, buy special card packs in the store. And these gems are really valuable, especially at the beginning, because you'll have virtually nothing. So what you should do is first and foremost buy the Yu-Gi-Oh! Gold Pass. I think it's 750 gems. You'll make that back by the end of it's essentially a battle pass, but it's free because you have the gems right off the bat. And you'll be getting gems as you play the game, as you do the pass itself. So just playing the game will net you lots of gems. You don't have to spend anything. You just use that currency you get, and you'll win it back by the end, plus a bunch of other stuff like dust for each of the various card rarities that I talked about earlier. So you want to first and foremost buy that gold pass because it's a very high value. Playing the game normally will also net you rewards for playing daily or doing certain objectives like summoning a monster, playing a trap card, playing a spell card. That will also get you gems. That can fund other things. If you go into the store and go to the packs and everything, you go to the very bottom, they've got a special offer pack for every single player. You can get one per person. And these include some of your big cards that you need to have in your decks. This is what you have to do if you want to compete in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! In any way, shape, or form. You have stuff like Ash Blossom that allows you to stop a special summon from the deck, draw a card from the deck, special summon, I can't remember all the specific things because I'm not remembering all the text right off the bat, but it'll let you do a lot of things. It's very, very versatile hand trap that you can use on turn one while your opponent's going. You can stop one thing per turn, essentially, a big summon or a big search. So Ash Blossom is absolutely essential. Another absolutely essential one is Max C. This one still isn't banned. I'm pretty surprised by that, but with how many of the decks special summon 50 cards at a time, Max C is very much a must. You'll need 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Max Cs, 100%. So you use the UR dust that you get at the very beginning of the game. You should have a good chunk of that right off the bat. Get 3 Ash Blossoms. You'll get 1 from the pack, and you'll open a bunch of other packs. I think it gives you 10 other ones as well for both of those cards. So you'll get 1, and then you can make a new copy of that card with UR Dust. It costs 30 UR Dust per card. And Ash Blossom Max C, getting 3 of those per deck, 100% worth it. You also have Infinite Impermanence, which is a trap that you can use from your hand. If you control no cards, you can play it straight from your hand to stop a monster effect, which is also very powerful. This can go hand in hand with stuff like Ash Blossom to have multiple hand traps. This is another one that you need to run 3 of. I think I ran 1 or 2 of for a while, but running 3 is just much better overall. These are our 3 hand traps that you need to have in every single deck that you have. So make sure you get all those secret packs. There's some other ones as well, like Nibiru, that allows you to special summon Nibiru from hand, wiping off all of the other cards from the board. If your opponent summons 5 or more monsters in a single turn, That can be really powerful for cards that want to summon a ton. You can stop effects in their tracks because you're getting rid of all the monsters on board. It's not the most effective sometimes because they might have graveyard effects, but that's a whole different thing to talk about here. Nibiru is very strong. If you want to run something like that, I did end up getting Nibiru, ran it in a couple of my decks, and I don't have it in my current deck, but it can be really powerful. It's a very versatile thing as well. There are other ones as well. Just read about them. They're really powerful cards. I think I bought every single one of those because they're a great deal to get a full ultra rare right off the bat. And those hand traps can just be really, really vital. Hand traps are something that really stops the game for your opponent and keeps them from going off on a full combo, a one card combo that makes a board that's unbreakable. So having these hand traps is just absolutely essential. The next thing you want to do is kind of figure out what kind of decks you want to build. Now, I love Blue Eyes. I love classic Yu-Gi-Oh! I wanted to build a modern Blue Eyes deck. So I looked up some videos online. I did some research. I decided ultimately to pair Blue Eyes with the Bestials engine. Bestials I found were really powerful, so I found the pack. Sometimes you have to find these packs. You don't have access to all of these packs. Opening certain cards will give you access to secret packs, and then you can buy packs from those decks. 10 packs will cost you 1,000 gems. So if you're going for like a bunch of cards in one specific set, that can be really valuable for you. After a couple of tries, they'll give you guaranteed ultra rares. You'll typically get 1 or 2 per 10 packs that you open. Not always. And if you don't get a single ultra rare, then the next 10 you open will guarantee an ultra rare. But I've had ultra rares up to like 4 or 5 in a single 10 pack. So it is luck of the draw, but Master Duel's like ratios are pretty darn good. You can find the good cards that you want pretty quickly, but deciding on what kind of cards you want early on is really important because 1,000 gems is a lot. You can hold up to 9,999 before you have to just start spending them, so you can't accrue past that. So it's important to buy stuff like structure decks. For me, I was like, okay, I want to build a Blue Eyes deck. There is a structure deck on there. You can buy up to 3 times to get as many copies of the cards that you want. So I bought the Blue Eyes deck 3 times. I built a Blue Eyes deck with the Bestials engine after pulling a bunch of cards there. I built a fairly competent deck that got me to platinum, got me pretty far in platinum. It wasn't getting me super far, but it got me as far as I needed to or as far as I wanted to. I did well in events. I started learning more about the game. That's the next big piece of advice I have. Once you built a competent deck or you're starting to learn the ropes a little bit more, just keep playing. You're going to lose a lot. You're going to get run over quite a bit, but the more that you play, the more you'll start to learn what your cards do and the more value that they have. You start to figure out ratios of cards. Like for me, you're not running 3 Blue Eyes Jet Dragons in your Blue Eyes deck because you're going to brick into those quite a bit, but you can search out one pretty easily. There's not too many. I've got several cards that search out stuff. Let me draw into Blue Eyes. Like the Melody of the Awakening Dragon, I believe is the card's name, where you can just draw 2 level 8. Is that what it is? Forgive me if I'm saying these wrong. It's essentially what they do. You get 2 level 8 dragon cards from your deck. You can draw into Jet that way. Stuff like that. You'll learn about consistency in your deck making. You'll know that you need your hand traps, but you won't know how many Blue Eyes you need, for instance, or Dark Magicians if you're running a Dark Magician deck, or if you're trying to run something completely different, you'll have to learn the ratios for that as well. Again, watching content creators do certain decks is really important. Like the new Shining Sarcophagus stuff is pretty darn cool. Or when King Sark came out, that was pretty cool as well. Watching the people utilize those decks and utilize that card, it can be really valuable to learn the ropes of of what the content creators are doing. That's what I did. I've been watching Yu-Gi-Oh! For like a couple years now. Some of my favorite content creators like C-Reacts, Rhymestyle, Dadodoya, they were just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of what got me interested in playing the card game in the first place. And I just kept watching them play the game, watching them unravel these crazy decks. I didn't know what the heck was going on. And over time, I started to understand them a little bit better, and playing them will also help you. So do those 2 things in tandem. You'll start to understand how decks work a little bit better. And then start building staples for your extra deck as well. These can be fusion monsters, synchro summon monsters, XYZ monsters, link monsters. Extra deck is my least favorite aspect of Yu-Gi-Oh! But I have found a lot of success with the Tenpai Dragons. I started to play against them when they were fairly new to Master Duel, and I got really frustrated. Then I started to see how cool they were. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty powerful deck, being able to summon like a billion monsters and just keep attacking over and over again, synchro summoning during the battle phase. I thought it looked pretty cool. So then I got into that pack, that specific pack, and I started building the Tenpai Dragon deck. I just opened with every 1,000 gems I got. I opened 10 packs, and I'd slowly accrue the cards I needed. When I had finished kind of what I wanted for the deck, but I needed a couple more pieces, I used the leftover UR dust that I needed or the SR dust that I needed to craft specific cards so I can make my deck a little more consistent. That's the best advice I can give you, is just focus in on what you want to play early on. If you have one specific archetype, focus on using your gems to buy packs for that specific archetype, because you'll probably use them for other decks as well, or you'll just be able to get the cards that you really like to play, and then you'll like playing your deck even if you end up losing a lot. So that's kind of what I have been doing. My Tenpai Dragons have done a really good job so far. Between my hand traps and the Tenpais, I can really realistically get past a lot of decks, even really strong ones, because I just need the right setup. I just need the right hand, the opening hand to win the game. So just find out what you like, find out what works best for you, and then just grind the game until you have the appropriate dust or the appropriate amount of gems. Buy your packs, craft the specific cards that you need, and build something really strong. You don't have to spend money to succeed in this game. I've gotten all the way up to the top of Platinum. I was really close, and I lost a few games, got a little frustrated, didn't play for a while, came back. There's a new season, resets every month, so I have almost graduated Platinum with my Tenpai deck, and I feel like I can actually do it. I feel like I can be successful in this game, and as I'm grinding the game, I'm getting some more dust. I'm going to get some more extra deck cards, some other stuff I can synchro into, and utilize fusion summoning a little bit more. But that's my recommendation for you if you are new to Master Duel, or if you are struggling with Master Duel like I have been for a while. Just find something you like, find a powerful deck, find a powerful archetype, get a bunch of cards for it, build something. You'll start to have more and more fun with the game, and you don't have to spend any money doing it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.